One of the things that has recently come up is that South Africa has filed a suit in the International Court of Justice against Israel. Thanks, Chip.
You're damn right.
So the fact that South Africa, for people, and I remember, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. So I remember that going on and the boycotting and divesting and Nelson Mandela being incarcerated and apartheid. Like, I remember all of that. And so right now we're living in the apocalyptic universe wherein that country is suing Israel for violations of the Genocide Convention. Now, ironically, because I would have actually assumed Israel decided not to partake in the Genocide Convention, but in fact, Israel is a party to the Genocide Convention. So South Africa is suing Israel about its violations of the Genocide Convention in the International Court of Justice, to which Israel is accountable. Now, we all know that those things generally don't have teeth. There's no repercussions. Oh, that's so nice. 52, baby. I'm 52. So this is a huge thing for me. Like, as somebody growing up during South African apartheid, now that and being a Zionist, growing up a Zionist during South African apartheid, I am now watching what was the apartheid state suing what is supposedly the only democracy in the Middle East. That's ridiculous. Under the Genocide Convention. So that's a pretty big thing going on. And, whether just the fact that that's happening is very, impressive to me. So that pleases me. And while Israel is not a party to the International Criminal Court, they don't participate in that, nor do we anymore, because they wanted to actually reprimand Israel for being an apartheid state. So instead of, listening to that, we just said, well, we're just not going to be with you anymore.
The New York Times, of all the publications, the warmongering New York Times themselves, says South Africa accuses Israel of genocide in a UN court.
I am offended by that headline. South Africa is not accusing Israel of genocide, okay? Israel is committing a genocide, and South Africa is suing them for their violation of the Genocide Convention under that specific law.
Israel's foreign ministry said the filing was a despicable and contemptuous exploitation of the court. Well, if any nation would know a thing or two about genocide and apartheid, it would definitely be South Africa.
But if and this just, it's interesting that because I don't read the New York Times. I don't generally read our state-sanctioned nonsense.
No, but I do think it's important when you're trying to get to the particular...
Accused Israel of genocide. No. First of all, let me be very clear that Joe Biden, Anthony Blinken, and Lloyd Austin are all currently also being sued for contributing to a genocide. That the fact that it's a genocide is no longer debatable. This is ridiculous.
Allegations of war crimes by both Israel and by Palestinian militant groups in territories occupied by Israel in 1967 are already under investigation at the International Criminal Court, which is independent of the UN, thank God. But the impact of that investigation is unclear because Israel is not a member nation of the ICC and does not recognize its jurisdiction.
Exactly, which is why South Africa suing Israel under the Geneva Convention in the International Court of Justice is different. That's why this is something and they know that it's valid because Israel is a party to the Genocide Convention. This is not going away. And there will be a reckoning for this politically in multiple locations. But this is, I'm very happy that South Africa is doing this. I think it would be better if more countries joined in because really this should be a class action type situation on a global scale.
More than 20,000 Palestinians have died in Gaza since the war began on October 7th, according to Gazan health authorities. A Hamas-led attack on Israel that day left an estimated 1,200 people dead, Israel officials say. In a statement on Friday, the Israeli government said it has tried to limit the impact of the war on civilians. They've tried really hard.
Yeah.
And accused South Africa of cooperating with Hamas. See, there's the trick.
Yeah, because
a terrorist organization that is calling for the destruction of the state of Israel.
Oh, yeah. So the New York Times, this is one of the reasons I wouldn't read that.
Swill.
It's swill. It is definitely swill-like. But I think that, they can keep trying to turn this and put as much lipstick on this pig as humanly possible, because that's ultimately what they're doing. They're still sitting there and making it be like it's an alleged genocide. They're accusing them of genocide. They're still talking in a way that the rest of the world is we're 80 days past that. Okay. Oh, yeah. We're 80 days past that. So we all now know what is happening. And by the way, Israel has been very clear about what it's doing. The leadership over there has been extremely clear in what their intent is. They don't even discount what they're doing in any way. And the amount of footage that's out there about showing IOF soldiers, showing what they're doing and how they're behaving and how they're treating people. There will be a reckoning for this. There will be.
Michael's right.
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. People don't realize that, I think, a lot over here. He's in a worse position there than Trump is here. And so every day that this goes on, every day that this goes on is another day Netanyahu sort of like prolongs his existence. And so I do think in that regard, he's very dangerous.
And I tell you, if there ever was a time where you should have somewhat of because most things in politics are done through fear and irrational thought process. But if there ever was a time where having the thought process that some, maniacal leader would ever consider the use of nuclear weapons, he'd be Netanyahu, who's the type of person who would do it.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.